Hello all, Jeff here. So today, I had something on my mind that I wanted to mention. Um, before a while back, I used to speak a lot more, and I talked about great origins sometimes, but I think there's an underscored point in the whole story of things, and there's parts that are way overplayed. And it's just a thing. I should probably clarify this. Okay, so um, the the reason that this whole thing is happening to the Greys, because they're gone. Now they're still here, but they don't have UFOs of their own. Um, though they don't have any UFOs of their own anymore. So their species is going to be eradicated from Earth, and so why is this happening to them? This is the thing. It's not. See now, there's this whole story about what happened and the origins of the Great Empire and when they first developed no point technology. There's a whole bunch of stuff that went on, and I really sort of probably overplayed this father-son dynamic that was going on between there was a father Gray and a son Gray. Okay, so I probably overplayed that, and see, but the thing is, it's not about that at all. It's like I'm fat and I'm drunk, right? I'm not drunk right now. I'm not drunk right now. Not today. I'm not drunk right now. Okay, I'm fat and I drink too much probably. Hey, all right. So, but that is like if someone used that against me, it's probably not the thing. It's probably just a way to discredit sort of thing. But no. I mean, that father son thing it was sexual and violent. That was not the thing. And I only mention that for a reason. I mentioned the whole thing. I mention it for a reason, and it's because so we understand why the Greys did that to us. They destroyed civilizations when people understood their origin. When people understand the Grey origins, the Greys will decimate civilizations over it. They'll wipe out entire peoples. Yeah, that like the Jewish people. There was someone in the early Jewish history. There was someone who understood, and it was seen, and then there we go. Um, so anyway, so that I'm trying to say that's what that's about. Okay, so but that's not why this is happening to the Greys. That's not why this is happening to the Greys. This is happening to the Greys because they developed no point technology. So that's a very interesting thing. No point technology. You might hear it more commonly referred to as 0 point technology. But I call it no point technology. So yeah. Um, anyway. Um, really, that was the thing. And yes, Earth developed it too, but it was under the guidance and leading of the Greys. So that's understood. That part is understood. That's gotten. It wasn't really technically originally developed here, sort of thing. It was more something the Greys brought with them. So if you think of their spaceships, right? So there's the speed of light travels, which is thought of as the speed limit for things in general. For things in general, but they can go faster than light, faster than the speed of light. They go faster than light, and the way they do that is they go subphysical. So I mean, so this is technology that's beyond ours. I mean, they go subphysical. So in other words, they demanifest from physical reality, but there's still light, or there's still. I mean, I don't. Anyway, so then they can go very fast because they're not on this level of existence. But then they can come right back up to physical again. So, but that's how faster than light works. But as far as the gray way of doing it. But that requires their way of doing it. I guess requires no point technology. That's what they use. That's how they do it. Is no point technology. But yeah, so that's a part of faster than light travel. Okay, so but the no point technology in general is not a nice thing. Is the problem? I mean, technology, right? I mean, there's all sorts of technology. Like cutting down trees isn't a nice thing sometimes, but you need trees to build a house, right? See, I understand this. I'm a human, all right. I get that point, but it's like this. This is something else. This is something else. No point technology, from how I understand it, it cuts off a person's freedom. It cuts off the freedom of life from a thing. So it cuts their freedom off. So how can you possibly do that? If all things are freedom, how can you possibly cut off freedom from it? It's a thing, and it's a horror. It's a horror to behold. But it's life. People can do whatever they want. You can do things do whatever they want by their nature. It's just the way of things. It's just how life is. It's by their nature that they can do anything they want with what they got. Okay? That's just the way of things. Yeah. So it's really not about the father-son thing. That is just a part of the story for why that's part of the thing that people will sometimes understand, and then the Greys will kill off entire groups of people or civilizations. But that's not why this is happening to the Greys, as far as their eviction from Earth and their eventual greater suffering on the Wrecking Ball. But yes, so anyway, so that's really the thing. So how do I say it right? How do I say it right? How do I say it right? There were how do I say it right? So the Greys were not the first civilization of peoples, beings, to ever develop no point technology. No, they're not the first ones. There are others before them that they have no connection with. There are others before them that they have no connection with. And so it happens over time that a civilization in existence itself, the entirety of existence, there's civilizations that develop it and they'll fall. They'll develop it and they'll fall one way or the other. They'll develop it and they'll fall one way or the other. Okay, so now so it happens time and time again, but it's just like, okay, I'm done with that. How do I say it? When the Greys developed it, it was the last straw. Is a good way to say it. That is like not. And I don't mean for humans or Earth or their own selves or something like that. No, or technology. No, I'm saying okay, that's the last straw. Where that's being said from, where that's at, is everything you see around you. That's from the heart of life. That's from nothing at all. That's from life itself, existence. That's from everything you see around you, everything you've ever known, everything you ever will know. Your very choice to survive. Everything that's coming from all of it. Or how do I say the heart of life? It's coming from the heart of life. Okay, that's the last straw. I'm done. Okay, so it's done. But it keeps going because there's still the Greys, but not forever, of course. they're going to have to. Well, it's not just about the Greys, is the thing. It's not just about them. It's not just about what they've done to us. It's not just about that. There's a history beforehand that has led the heart of life to not be all right with this technology. And so yeah. So that sort of understanding can come from with when you look at your own self, you can self-examine. You can see it in yourself. If you bring it up, you can probably see it. I don't know, but I don't know. People have all sorts of ways of thinking about things and all that. They might reject on a philosophical level or one thing or another, or be emotionally hurt by some person in their life, and so therefore they're just kind of bitchy or something, you know what I'm saying? So they see it a different way. That's a thing. So just whatever. Who fucking cares? So just it's a thing. It's the last straw, and it's just the way it is. It's just the way of things. So, but now the nature of life is it's free. Things can do whatever the fuck it wants because it's life itself, and that's its nature. So how do you prevent no point technology from happening when any being whatsoever, however deluded or aggressive, however aggressive they may be, whatever, they just develop no point technology because they feel like it, because that's what they do. They can do that, so they do. If they do, however, so they can do whatever they want, but so can life, so can existence, and that so can life itself, and so that is what is happening with the Grey Empire, with the Greys. Yeah, that's what's happening with the Greys. No. So what's going to happen is they're going to be not every single one. I understand. I don't understand every single detail here. Okay, but there's a wrecking ball sort of thing. There's a place they're gonna go afterward, and this wrecking ball is going to send forth on any beings who develop no point technology ever again in existence. It will, by physics, bring the Greys to them. Now, if you consider the Greys, they are deceitful, aggressive, powerful little shits that are very horrific to encounter and deal with, and very intense, oftentimes, and oftentimes not. I don't want to get into it. They are going to be used as a weapon on civilizations who develop no point technology by physics, by the way physics works, by the operation of physics, so that the Grey Empire will be unleashed upon them, and it will. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Greys here on Earth are stunted. They are stunted because it is the heart of life. It is the will of freedom that this planet will live, and so and the Greys are to be evicted and removed from this planet. So the Greys, therefore, while they're here, are stunted. They're not as powerful as they possibly can be, because this it's not the way of things that this place is going to die with them. It's just not the way of things. So that's how the Greys will come out. That's how they come out. They're not good to have around. They're not good to have around. Not everybody realizes this yet, but whatever, okay? So, but the Greys I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about what I call the Bloud. I was thinking about what I call the Bloud, which is like gray spirits, fallen gray spirits, fallen gray spirit energy sort of thing. And so I was thinking about the Bloud, but that's really not. So like yeah. So when they do go to the wrecking ball and leave Earth, they will be supported by the same freedom that backs me. So the same heart of life will be empowering the Greys instead of fighting against them on the wrecking ball. So that's the thing, is that when the Greys do leave, they will be empowered, and it will not be it's not going to be nice, by the way. It's not going to be nice on them. It's like, oh, yay, power and plush pillows and happiness. No, it's just more like they will be in severe torture, and they're going to be severely more powerful because the heart of life will support them instead of fight against them. So, but that, I mean, I can say it like that, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's like, they're not going to be fought against like they are fought against here. Because here, we're not supposed to go, so they don't come out that way, like I say. But like when they go, that's what their purpose will be, is to decimate the civilization, that any civilization that develops the technology, and they have their ways. They'll try to draw it out probably, and they'll try to cut it down from another angle, because they have different factions, right? So some of them will probably try to draw the technology out, and then others will probably try to cut it down. Other grades will try to cut it down. But so there's a lot of different ways. But the idea is that any civilization that develops it in the future will have severe problems with the Greys. And here's a really interesting thing. Earth, the location of Earth, and the understanding of our planet, and the understanding and knowledge that we have as humans will be greatly sought after by other planets in the future who develop no-point technology and have to deal with the Greys. Earth will be of extreme interest to them because why is this happening to them? How do they control this technology? And when this huge event that's happening on Earth right now is very relevant to what's happening over there in the future. But so Earth will be so if they knew where we were and who we were and all that, and if they understood what we understand, that would be highly valuable, probably to good people as well. However, at the same time, the fates are what they are, and no point technology must die. It simply must be. If a planet decides that it's all right, and then the beings, however it works, and then the beings develop no point technology, yeah, it won't be good. Or so it's either the remnants of no point, but it's not exactly the civilization has to be destroyed. It's more like no point technology cannot exist on those within those civilizations after the Greys are done. That's the thing. The no point technology cannot exist. And if the civilization does not let it go, then they'll be destroyed. That is the way of things. And it'll be done with the wrecking ball called to them through physics, and it'll use, of course, the Greys that we have. That'll be who they're facing. But yeah. So anyway, that's the thing. So it's not the father-son thing. That's not why this is happening to the Grey Empire. No. See, that's more of a thing where it's just a weird thing people might understand if they see a particular Grey or something like that walking in the streets or something back in the, however it worked, and then the Grey understood. Oh well, you understand that. So you must have Grey blood or some sort of genetic memory in your system, biologically, because that's how that sort of understanding would be there. So therefore, since that understanding comes from your blood, the entire bloodline must be wiped off the face of the earth. And so that, because they have no tolerance for humans to understand that thing. So we had to lower. So humans had to lower. So that sort of understanding was not possible. So people would not get that. And so we had to lower. So lowering of consciousness would be suffering. Suffering would cause lowering. Like if you're like kind of like dazed, you're like tired or something like that, and you put the coffee pot in the refrigerator, it's like that. That's kind of like that's an example of being lower. Yeah. So lowering consciousness requires usually, and as far as I understand, like suffering, torture, stuff like that. And higher consciousness would be more happiness, more being all right over time, that sort of thing. That'll over time. So that'll make it more higher. But yeah, so we had to lower ourselves a significant amount. We had to significantly lower ourselves um, um, because someone knew. So more than one. There's more than one time. More than one people knew it. So that, and we had to lower where we would to where we would not do that anymore. And yeah, so that's more the thing. It's not that the father son they have with the torture and the violence and the sexuality stuff. It's not that. It's just that's part of what people remember. And then if they do, then it's like all hell breaks loose and all that. So that's really more the point that why I even mention that, because that is the story. So, but it's like, who cares? It's just that's why, because they're ashamed or something and they want to just. But I mean, but that's what they do. Then is they destroy civilizations and they wipe out entire groups of people. They have their ways. They have their ways. I probably shouldn't go into this. Let me think. Oh yeah, let's see here. Earth poster. Oh, what do I think? Okay, so anyway, that's basically the thing, is that there was no point technology that did this to the Greys, and that's why this is happening. Period. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Bye.